students. In this video we are going to study cosine rule and questions based on cosine rule. Okay. So first let's write the statement of cosine rule. Statement of cosine rule is in any triangle ABC, a square equal to b square plus c square minus 2bc cos a. See, whenever it is a square, we have angle A here, and in right hand side we have B and C only. Small letters B and C are length of the sides. So if it is B square will be in terms of C and A, and we will be having cos B. So C square plus A square minus 2CA cos B. Similarly, C square is A square plus B square minus 2AB cos C. Or we can write this statement as, we can write formula for cos A. So if it is cos A, we have B square plus C square minus A square upon 2BC. See, if it is A here, in the last term is minus A square, and the remaining two terms, those we have to write first, B square plus C square, and those terms are in the denominator too, 2BC. B square plus C square minus A square upon 2BC. Similarly, if we write cos B, now since it is B here, last term will be minus B square now, and the remaining terms are that we have to write first, A square plus C square minus B square, and in the denominator also we will be having A and C with 2, so 2AC. So if it is cos of C, then it is, first we have to write A square and B square, last term is minus C square divided by 2AB. So either we can write cosine rule like this, or in terms of cos A, cos B and cos C. Okay, let's study proof of the cosine rule. So for that we have to construct x-axis and y-axis. So let's take x-axis and y-axis. So let this be x-axis, this is y-axis. Now place triangle ABC such that angle A is at origin. So angle A is at origin means vertex A is at origin. So vertex A is at origin and AB is along positive x-axis. So C may lie in first quadrant or in second quadrant. So I am drawing like this. I am drawing C in first quadrant. So this is triangle ABC. If A is acute angle, then C lies in first quadrant. And if A is obtuse angle, for example like this, if A is obtuse angle, in that case C lies in second quadrant. So if we place vertex A is at origin, AB is along positive x-axis, and if A is obtuse angle, in that case we will be having the triangle like this. So this is vertex C. So both diagram will do. You can draw any of the diagram. Now the only remaining case is angle A is right angle, but that will be a specific case. So we are taking general triangle ABC. A is acute or obtuse. You can draw both, or you can draw only one diagram, no problem. So why we are taking like this? Vertex A is at origin and AB is along positive x-axis, because now angle A is in standard position. So that way we are placing this triangle like this. So this length AB is C. So first step is draw this diagram. Now second step is find coordinates of each vertex. Okay. So next step is we are finding now coordinates of each vertex. So A is at origin. So A is 0, 0. Now length AB, by our convention, it is opposite to angle C. So that's why we are denoting it by small c. Now B lies on positive x-axis and length AB is C. Since it is on x-axis, its y coordinate is 0 and length AB is C. So it is C0. In this diagram also you can draw the same. Now here angle A is in standard position. or we can use those polar coordinates. So length AC is B. So let's use polar coordinates. What are the polar coordinates? Polar coordinates are, if we have length OP equal to R, and if this angle is theta, then x is equal to r cos theta and y is equal to r sin theta. So these are the polar coordinates. R theta are polar coordinates in Cartesian system. We convert those as x is equal to r cos theta and y equal to r sin theta. Length OP is r and this angle theta is in standard position. Now let's compare this with our diagram. Now instead of theta we are referring angle A. So now theta we have to replace by A. Okay, and length OP, we have here coordinates of PR, r cos theta, r sin theta. So we need length OP. Now to find coordinates of C, we need length AC and that is B and angle is A. So R is replaced by B and theta is replaced by A. So coordinates of C, they become B cos A, B sin A. Okay. So using polar coordinates, find coordinates of C. So now we have coordinates of C as B cos A, B sin A. So let's write it by using definition of polar coordinates. C is B cos A, B sin A. Now we have coordinates of each vertex of triangle ABC. So we have used length AB to find coordinates of B. We have used length AC equal to small b to find coordinates of C. Now the remaining length is only BC. BC is A, so small letter A equals to BC. So this is our second step. Now let's square it because we are going to use distance formula. So to write the distance formula, we don't want to write those square root signs. So for that we are squaring both sides. So A square equal to B square, BC square. Now BC square, consider coordinates of B and coordinates of C, x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square. So x2 means B cos A minus C square. B cos A minus C bracket square plus y2 minus y1 square. So y coordinate of C is B sin A and y coordinate of B is 0. So their difference is B sin A minus 0 bracket square. Now let's square it. So squaring this, first term square is B square cos square A minus 2 BC cos A plus C square. So this is square of first bracket. Now second bracket is B sin A minus 0 square. So that is B square sin square A. Now consider first term and last term. We can take B square common. So B square into bracket cos square A plus sin square A. Then let's write this C square and the remaining term minus 2 BC cos A. So B square into 1 cos square plus sin square is 1. So B square into 1 plus C square minus 2 BC cos A. Therefore, A square equal to B square plus C square minus 2 BC cos A. So this is our cosine rule. A square equals to B square plus C square minus 2 BC cos A. Similarly, we can prove for B square and C square. Similarly means what? To prove for a square, we put a vertex A at origin. So to prove for b square, we have to put b vertex b at origin. And for c square, we have to put vertex c at origin. So like that. So we are using this cosine rule as cos a equal to b square plus c square minus a square upon 2bc. So let's solve some questions based on cosine rule. So let's start with very simple question. Consider this question. In triangle ABC, A is equal to 18, B equal to 24, C equal to 30. Find cos A, sin A and area of triangle ABC. Okay, first let's find out value of cos A. Now by cosine rule, we have cos A equal to, if it is A, last term is minus A square, we have to write the remaining terms first. So B square plus C square minus A square upon 2BC. Now substitute the values. Value of B is 24. So 24 square plus C square, that is 30 square, minus A square, that is 18 square, divided by 2BC. B is 24 and C is 30. So let's solve this. 24 square is 576, 30 square is 900, 18 square is 324. Let's write the denominator as it is. 2 into 24 into 30. Now 576 plus 900 gives us 9 plus 5 is 14, 1476. Now subtracting 324, we get 6 minus 4 is 2, 7 minus 2 is 5, 4 minus 3 is 1. So 1, 1, 5, 2 divided by 2 into 24 into 30. So let's divide with 2 first. Very simple step. So dividing by 2 here, we get 2 5s are 10, then 15, so that is 2 7s are, and 2 6s are. So we get 576. But we know that 576 is 24 into 24. It is 24 square. So it is 24 into 24. So dividing by 24 here, 124 get cancelled. So we get 24 divided by 30. And dividing by 6, we get 4 by 5. So we have value of cos A equals to 4 by 5. So cos A is 4 by 5. Now let's find out sin A. But instead of using the formulas, we can use sin square A equal to 1 minus cos square A to find sin A. Okay. Okay, let's use that first. Sin square A is 1 minus cos square A. So 1 minus, squaring this we get 16 by 25. Now 25 minus 16 is 9 by 25. So sin of A is equal to 3 by 5. So now we have value of sin A equal to 3 by 5. Instead of using the formula also, we can use this right angle triangle also. If this is A and cos A is 4 by 5, then the remaining side is 3. So sin A is 3 by 5. Like this also we can find value of sin A. This sin cos of A is 4 by 5. It is positive. That means A is acute angle. And if we have cos A as negative value, then that angle A will lie in second quadrant. That means measure of the angle is greater than 90 degrees. So in that case, A is obtuse angle. So we will be solving one question based on this. Okay, first let's find out area of triangle ABC and then we will discuss the sign of cos A. Area of triangle ABC. In the earlier video, we have proved that area of triangle ABC is half BC sin A. Now, since we have found out value of sin A, so that's why I am using this formula. Half BC, value of B is given 24, value of C is given 30, and we have value of sin A as 3 by 5. So substituting the values, we get here 5 6 are and 2 3s are. So this is 24 into 3 into 3, that is 24 into 9. 24 into 9 is 216, and since it is area, we have to write it as 216 square units. So this is how we can find area of triangle as well as value of cos A and sin A. Now let's study the sign of cos A. So for that, let's take one example. In triangle ABC, value of A, B and C are given. A is 2, B is 3 and side C is 4. Show that the triangle is obtuse angle triangle. Show that the triangle is obtuse angle triangle. How to prove that it is obtuse angle triangle? One of the angles is obtuse angle, that means either cos A, cos B or cos C has negative side. It is negative value. Now which one is to be find out now? See here, C is having the greatest length here. So the angle opposite to largest side has greatest measure. So as C equals to 4, that means angle C is having greatest measure. So let's find out cos C. So cos of C by cosine rule is A square plus B square minus C square divided by 2AB. Substitute the values. A is 2, B is 3 and C is 4 divided by 2AB. A is 2 and B is 3. So 4 plus 9 minus 16 divided by 12. That is 4 plus 9 is 13. 13 minus 16 is minus 3 upon 12, that is minus 1 by 4. So cos A is negative and we have A plus B plus C equal to 180 degrees. So each angle is less than 180 degrees, but since cosine is negative, A is greater than 90. Therefore, angle C is greater than 90. So C lies in second quadrant. That means angle C is greater than 90. Measure angle C is greater than 90 degrees. Therefore, triangle ABC is obtuse angle triangle. Is obtuse angle. Okay. Let's solve one more simple question. In triangle ABC, show that 2 into BC cos A plus AC cos B plus AB cos C equal to A square plus B square plus C square. So it's very simple question. It carries 2 marks. So let's start with left hand side. So it is 2 BC cos A plus, we are multiplying each term by 2. 2 AC cos B plus 2 AB cos C. Using cosine rule, we can substitute values of cos A, cos B and cos C. Cos A, since it is A, last term is minus A square, we have to write the remaining term first. B square plus C square minus A square upon 2BC. So to cancel this 2bc with 2bc, I have multiplied each term by 2. 2ac cos b means we have to write a and c first and then minus b square. So it is a square plus c square minus b square upon 2ac plus 2ab into cos of c. Cos of c is a square plus b square minus c square upon 2ab. So denominator gets cancelled in each term. So 2bc get cancelled, 2ac get cancelled and 2ab get cancelled. So we have to add the terms. So writing the numerators, we get b square plus c square minus a square plus a square plus c square minus b square plus a square plus b square minus c square. Now c square minus c square get cancelled, minus b square plus b square get cancelled and minus a square plus a square get cancelled. So the remaining terms are a square plus b square plus c square. So that is our right hand side. So it's very simple question. Just we have to substitute values of cos A, cos B and cos A using cosine rule. So it carries 2 marks. Very simple question. Now let's solve this question. This question carries 3 marks. In a triangle ABC, prove that A sin A minus B sin B equal to C sin of A minus B. We are using sine rule and cosine rule both in this question. Okay, I want you to learn the technique to solve such types of questions. Let's start with right hand side. So right hand side is C into sine of A minus B. Now why I am starting with the right hand side? Because I can expand sine of A minus B so that it will be in terms of sine and cos both. You can start from left hand side also, but I find this as more easy. So C sine of A minus B. Now let's write formula of sine of A minus B. That is sine A cos B minus cos A sin B. Okay, to simplify the terms, here we are having small letters as well as capital letters in the right hand side. See, this C is small letter, that means it is side. And this A and B, they are capital letters, that means those are angles. So if we convert all the terms into small letters, we can simplify very easily. So for that, what we are doing is we are using both sine rule and cosine rule. So let's learn how to use that. So by sine rule is A upon sine A equal to B upon sine B equal to C upon sine C equals to K. This is side and this is angle. So that's why this one is little bigger than this. So we can use this as, see, we can convert sine A in terms of small letter a. How we can do that? A by sine A equal to K. We are taking first and last term. Now let's interchange K and sine A. So A upon K becomes sine A. So for sine A, we can write A by K. That means we are replacing this capital letter by a small letter. We are converting this term with capital letter into small letter. Similarly, we can write sine B as B upon K and sine C as C upon K. Okay. So let's substitute for values of sine A, sine B and sine C. Similarly, we are using cosine rule. That means for cos B and cos A, we have formulas. So let's substitute those formulas. So this one is C sin A. Sin A is A by K now. So A upon K into cos of B. Cos of B is A square plus C square minus B square upon 2AC minus cos A. Now since it is cos A square is the last term. Write the remaining terms first. So it is b square plus c square minus a square divided by 2bc. So this is value of cos A. Now write sin B. What is sin B? Sin B is b upon k. So into b upon k. See, we have converted all the terms into small letters so that we can simplify it. So let's simplify. So let's multiply the bracket by c. So multiplying by c and cancelling this a. Here a get cancelled. In the second one b get cancelled. And let's multiply both terms by c. So we get c upon k. Write the terms as they are. A square plus c square minus b square in the denominator. Cancelling a, we have only 2c. Minus, multiplying this term by c, we get c into b square plus c square minus a square upon 2c into k. Okay. Now here c get cancelled. So in the denominator we have 2k, here also we have 2k. Now since the denominator is same, so we can add or subtract the numerators. Here we have minus sign in between. So first let's write the numerator of the first term, that is a square plus c square minus b square. Now minus this term, that means we have to change sign of each term. So minus b square minus c square minus minus plus a square. So simplifying this, we get c square minus c square gets cancelled. The remaining terms are a square plus a square, that is 2a square, minus b square minus b square, that is minus 2b square upon 2k. So we can take 2 common. So a square minus b square upon 2k. So 2 get cancelled and we get a square minus b square upon k. So this is the simplification of the right hand side using sine rule and cosine rule. So we have started with c sine of a minus b and we have a square minus b square upon k. Now let this be equation number 1. Let's simplify left hand side and let's prove that left hand side is also a square minus b square upon k. What is left hand side? Left hand side is a sin a minus b sin b. So let's write that. Left hand side is a sin a minus b sin b. See, again we have to convert into small letters. So we are using sine rule. By sine rule, sin a is a by k and sin b is b by k. So substituting for sin a as a by k and sin b as b by k, we get a square minus b square upon k, which is same as equation 1. So let this be equation number 2. Simplifying left hand side. So from 1 and 2, left hand side equal to right hand side. So this is the proof. So the technique is we have converted all the terms into small letters so that we can simplify those terms and we can prove left and right sides are equal. Let's solve one more question. In triangle ABC, prove that a cube sine of b minus c plus b cube sine of c minus a plus c cube sine of a minus b equal to 0. So here we have to prove that the sum of these three terms is 0. So whenever the sum is 0, that means what? The terms, they cancel each other. So that's why we get 0 in the right hand side. So we have to cancel those terms. So again we have small letters and capital letters. So our technique is we are going to convert capital letters into small letters by using sine rule and cosine rule both. So let's see the terms here. We have in the first term a, b, c. In the second one b, c, a. And in the third one we have c, a, b. So such terms are known as cyclic terms. Why cyclic terms? See, irrespective of the capital and small letters, let's see that. In the first one we have A, B, C like this. In the second one we have B, C, A. So B, C, A. And in the third one starting with C we have C, A, B like this. So these are known as cyclic terms. So to solve such questions, we have to simplify only first term. Similarly, we can simplify the other terms. So for only thing is we have to simplify first term, and similarly you can write for the remaining two terms. So let's simplify only first term. So first term is a cube sine of b minus c. Now remember the technique we have used in the earlier example. So what we have done in the earlier example, we have written formula for sine. So similarly here also we are going to write formula of sine of b minus a. Sine of b minus c, sine of b minus c is sine b cos of c minus cos b sin c. See, we have both the terms sine as well as cos. So let's use sine rule. So let's write the reason. By sine rule, a upon sine a equal to b upon sine b equal to c upon sine c equal to k. So that we can write sine a as a by k, sine b as b by k, sine c as c by k. And we are using cosine rule as well. So this is a cube. We are converting into small letters, so we are writing a cube as it is. Next is sine b. Now sine b is b upon k. So see, sine b is now converted into small letters. Formula for cos of c is a square plus b square minus c square upon 2ab minus cos of b. Cos of b is a square plus c square minus b square upon 2ac. Next is sin c, which is c upon k. So we have written all the terms into small letters. So let's simplify this. So simplifying this, b gets cancelled. Here c get cancelled. So the denominator of first term is 2a into k. In the second term also we have 2a into k. So denominator is same, 2ak. So denominator is same. So let's write only one denominator, 2a into k. Now the numerator is a square plus b square minus c square. Now we have minus sign in between. That means we have to change sign of all these three terms. So it is minus a square, minus c square and minus minus plus b square. So that is equals to, now a square get cancelled. So the remaining terms are b square and this is also plus b square. So we get 2b square minus c square becomes minus 2c square. So a cube into 2b square minus 2c square upon 2ak. So we can take 2 common so that we can cancel that with the term in 2 in the denominator. And we can cancel one a also. So cancelling that a, we get a square. Now take 2 common. So 2 into b square minus c square divided by 2k. A already we have cancelled. So 2 get cancelled. So this becomes a square b square minus c square upon k. So this is our first term. So we can write this as multiplying by a square b square minus a square c square upon k. So our first term was a cube sine of b minus c. So when we have a cube sine of b minus c, the simplification is a square b square minus c square. So we get the same sequence. A, B, C. Here also we have the same sequence A, B, C. In between we have minus sign. So in the second term, so similarly we can write the second term. So in the second term we were having B, C, A. So the simplification is first term is B, then C, then A. So this is B square C square minus A square upon K. Let's write the third term first and then we will simplify this. Third term is, in the third term we have C cube then AB. So we have C first, then A, then B. So in the simplification also the order remains the same. C first, then A, then B. So this is C square A square minus B square upon K. So multiplying these terms by B square, we get B square C square minus B square into A square is same as A square B square. So we are writing the sequence as ABC so that we can simplify easily. So multiplying these terms by C square, we get A square C square minus B square C square upon K. So in the statement that we have to prove, we have addition of these three terms. So if we add these terms now, so here we get the left hand side. So left hand side is addition of these three terms. Now let's check for this. Denominator is K. Here we have A square B square and here we have minus A square B square. So adding those, it get cancelled. Minus A square C square plus A square C square get cancelled. And here we have B square C square and minus B square C square get cancelled. So all the terms they get cancelled. So this one is 0 upon K. So that is 0 and that is our right hand side. So this is the proof. So whenever we have cyclic terms, simplify only first term and write the remaining terms accordingly and add those terms and prove the equality.